Hello and welcome to another episode of the Coding Break. Ring the bell. Hi guys and gals, the coding pros. Welcome back to another episode of the Coding Break with Tam Talk, where we talk about all things coding related, the good, the bad, the ugly, and probably some of the great things as it relates to healthcare business, medical coding, and the like. So I guess we can get started. So I'm reading this article, and the question posed was, is this the collapse of the healthcare sector? And I repeat, is this the collapse of the healthcare sector? I mean, I don't know. Is it? Well, I went ahead and continued to read the article, and I'm shocked. Well, I'm not going to say I'm shocked because I've been personally affected by this as well, where an individual had to pay a certain amount of money for healthcare coverage, but they could not obtain the benefits or receive this type of benefits from the healthcare insurance until they paid a hefty deductible. From what I'm reading here, the individuals or the family paid $8,000 per year for the health insurance coverage, only to receive the benefits of the coverage once they paid a $16,000 deductible. And I'm like, wow. So mine is not that expensive. I mean, as far as like what my deductible is and how much I have to pay out of pocket before I receive an actual benefit from my benefits. So I would say I probably see the impact as it relates to my prescriptions, where I'm paying a hefty amount of money for a prescription. And when I say hefty amount, I'm saying like almost $600, $700 for a prescription. This is before my insurance company or insurance benefit kicks in. But I will say this. The beauty of mine is once I pay that and it meets the deductible, my insurance or my prescriptions are, I don't want to say they're free. I'm not charged for it for the remainder of the year. And so that's the good thing about it, is that once I meet that deductible, which is, like I said, it's a hefty amount, for the duration of the year, my prescriptions are zero cost to me out of pocket. So I guess that is a plus and a minus. But the fact that prescriptions are expensive, because this is a maintenance drug, and so it's expensive. So yeah, and I thank God every day that I have coverage for that I can can pay it. But yeah, so based on this article that I'm reading, and it was actually written by Justin McAfee. So it was I guess a blog. It just came up. Anyway, so I'm reading that, and so the question is it really the collapse of the healthcare sector, or is I guess given everything else that we're experiencing in life, it's just costly. But healthcare has always been costly. It has always been costly. I think because we're getting more attention and awareness is being brought to us as relates to healthcare. Now we're waking up and we're paying attention to it now. But it has always been expensive. The services, I mean, there are definitely differences from someone who has been in healthcare, working in healthcare for a number of years. I've seen the changes. I've seen some are good, some are bad. I've also seen the dynamics of like who's getting paid the most and who's losing money and the like. So I will say that, as a medical coder, I feel that there will always be jobs as it relates to medical coding. The only difference is that, as with anything or any job role, our roles will change, and it has changed. It's just a matter of, again, if you're coming in, you have to come in with the foundation, and then you kind of progress. And I share that as in my teaching, whether it's on TikTok or whatever, that medical coding is a foundational career path. Like it's similar to math where it builds on each other. So like, you start off with addition and subtraction, and then you move on to multiplication, division, and so on. Then, we end up with calculus, trigonometry, things of that nature. This is the same thing with medical coding. You start off with the foundational coding, and then as you progress in medical coding, whether your knowledge of it or your career path, it builds on each other, and you branch out to a more specialized area of coding. So that could be a specialty, or it could be that you want to, pursue another certification, because there are several certifications out there as it relates to medical coding. It depends. And then, but I say all that, now that we are all kind of have been introduced somewhat to artificial intelligence or AI, our role has evolved. Now we're becoming more of auditors. But you still need the medical coding certification and knowledge to confirm or correct AI, because sometimes AI can be wrong. Let's not think AI is perfect. AI does have its deficiencies, and that's where your knowledge as a medical coder comes into play. And so again, our roles are evolving, changing along with the pay, and that pay will vary depending on the entity and again the specific role that you pursue. But I think medical coding will always be there. Healthcare will always be there. It's just right now it seems like it's a strain. And it is, again, but it has always been expensive. It has never, as long as I've been in healthcare, I have never seen it not be expensive. And it's probably going to get a little bit more expensive considering, again, there are so many hands in the healthcare pot. Again, we have AI, which is computer technology. You have other businesses. You have athletes who are involved in healthcare now. And healthcare is pretty much a business, right? It's a business. And so people with money, people who are into business, I know that they have their hands in healthcare. So for those of you who are medical coders or are in pursuit of becoming medical coders, this is a good opportunity, or I don't want to say an easy way to get into this space as well, because we want to do it because we have to feed ourselves, we have to feed our family, we have to take care of our loved ones, right? And so medical coding to me is probably the less expensive way to get in. Is college required for medical coding? AAPC recommends, again, they recommend that you have at least an associate degree, but prior to them making that requirement or recommendation, that you can become a coder without it. Like I became a coder prior to me receiving my college degrees, and I have college degrees now. And so, it's still the same, but again, it just looks good on your resume to have a college education. It reflects or shows that you have discipline and in regards to you in pursuit of your education. And then also because you have the certification, a lot of jobs are requiring that you have some specialized training, again, such as the medical coding certification. And there are various certifications that you can pursue, but we'll get into that another time. But I really wanted to just kind of come on and just share with you like what's going on with healthcare and panic and fear, just kind of ease and just kind of elaborate a little bit more on what's going on in healthcare. Again, as I mentioned, healthcare has always been expensive. It's just that now it's being brought to our attention. We're being made aware of healthcare and how it impact or affect us, and how can we get in the game as relates to the business of healthcare and through medical coding certification. And will medical coding go away, or what will happen? It won't go away. It will just evolve as everything else evolves. So that's all that I have for this coding break. And as always, if you're looking to learn coding, I'm on TikTok as well as YouTube. And of course, you can tune into my Coding Break podcast, where I just kind of have a somewhat of a lighthearted, informative conversation with my listeners. So that's all that I have for today. On that note, my coding break is over, and I wish you all the best. And as always, remember to code on. Until next time, take care.